Lesson 18. Lesson 18. Must and have to. Use it to. Some and any. We have already talked about some and any in the count and non-count nouns. But we are going to review here and learn some new things about them. Let's begin. Must and have to. Must and have to. Both must and have to express obligation or necessity, but there are some small differences. It means must and have to both express obligation and necessity, but they have some differences. Must expresses the speaker's feeling. Must expresses the speaker's feeling, whereas have to expresses an impersonal idea. It means have to doesn't express the speaker's feeling. It's not a personal idea. It is impersonal idea. It might be a rule. It might be a rule or it's a rule. For example, you must come home. You are obligated to come home. You must come home. It means you are obligated to come home. The speaker's feeling. I require that you come. I require that you come. Must is used to express the speaker's feeling. It is an obligation. As I told you, both must and have to express obligation and necessity, but they have some differences. Here, must expresses the speaker's feeling. You are obligated to come home. I require you to come home. You have to come home. You have to come home. You are obligated to come home. You are obliged to come home. There is a rule. There is a rule. Have to is not a personal idea. It is an impersonal idea. There is a rule requiring you that you come. It's not the speaker's feeling. There is a rule require you to come home. Must I wear this tie? Must I wear this tie? Am I obligated to wear this tie? Am I obligated to wear this tie? Must and have both have the same meaning of obliged. Obliged. Am I obliged to wear this tie? What do you think? You are asking for the speaker's feeling. For the speaker's feeling. But do I have to wear this tie? Is there a rule about this tie? Is there? As I told you, have to is not a personal idea. Must is a personal idea. It's the speaker's feeling. But have to is different. It is an impersonal idea. It's not a personal idea. Have to mainly expresses general obligations. Have to mainly expresses general obligations, while must is used for specific obligation. Have to is used to express general obligations, while must is used for specific obligations. For example, I have to brush my teeth twice a day. I have to brush my teeth twice a day. It is what? It is a general obligation. It is a general obligation. Have to is used to express a general obligation. I must tell you something. I must tell you. I must tell you. This is specific. This is a specific obligation. I have to tell you. I must tell you. I must tell you something. This is a specific obligation. Therefore, have to is used to express a general obligation, while must is used to express a specific obligation. An important note, to express obligation, duty or necessity in the future or past. In the future or past, must and need are not used. Must and need both have the same meaning. Must and need are not used. They are replaced by have to. They are replaced by have to. In the future and past, they can be must and need can be used in what? In present tense. But in the future and the past, they cannot be used. For example, we must or we need to, we must or we need to both have the same meaning. We must or we need to buy another ticket. We must or we need to buy another ticket. This is what? This is in present tense. In present tense. They can be used in present tense. Must and need can be used in present tense, but they cannot be used in future and past. For future and past, they are replaced by have to. Have to for past, we change the have to what? To had. It become it becomes had to for past because have is an irregular verb and the past participle form of have is had. We had to buy another ticket. We had to buy another ticket. Must and need to is replaced by had to. Had to in the past. Had to in the past. We had to buy another ticket yesterday. We will have to buy another ticket later. We will have to. We will have to. Here is what we have will. It is future. It is future. Have to is used for the future. However, in their negative forms, must not and don't have, must not and don't have, must not and don't have, they have completely different meaning. Must not and don't have they have completely different meaning. They have completely different meaning. Must not expresses prohibition. Must not expresses prohibition. You must not drive. You must not drive. It means you are prohibited from driving. You are prevented from driving. You are not allowed to drive. You are prohibited to drive. You are prohibited to drive. You are not allowed to drive. Therefore, must not expresses prohibition. Don't have, don't have expresses the absence of obligation or necessity. The absence of obligation or necessity. The absence of obligation or necessity. You don't have to drive. You don't have to drive. You are not obliged to drive. But you can if you want. It means don't have is used to express the absence of obligation. It means there is not an obligation or it is not necessary. It is not, you are not obligated. You are not obliged. And it is not necessary. You don't have to drive. It means you are not required to drive. But if you like, you can drive. Use it to. Use it to plus infinitive. It is the structure of forming use it to. Use it to plus infinitive. We use this expression. We use this expression to talk about habits. To talk about habits or repeated actions in the past. Habits and repeated actions in the past, which we don't do in the present. Which we don't do in the present. It means use it to is used to talk about habits or repeated actions in the past which we don't do in the present. Which we don't do in the present. We also use it to talk about states in the past which are no longer true. Which are no longer true. Use it to is used to express habits and repeated actions in the past that we don't do in the present. For example, I used to have long hair. I used to have long hair. It means in the past I had long hair. In the past I had long hair. But now I have short hair. But now I have short hair. He used to smoke. He used to smoke. It means he was smoking in the past. But now he doesn't smoke. He used to smoke. He smoked in the past, but now he doesn't smoke. They used to live in India. They used to live in India, but now they live in Germany. They used to live in India. It means they lived in India in the past. They lived in India in the past, but now they live in Germany. Watch out. Be careful. With the negative and the question, it is use. In the negative and question sentences, it is use. We remove the D. Use it is past form. In the negative and question, we have to remove the D because we make a question with auxiliary did for asking about past. When you use did, the main verb should be in a base form. For example, did you used to be a teacher? Did you used to be a teacher? It means in the past. Did you used to be a teacher? Did he used to study French? Did he used to study French? Or she didn't used to like chocolate, but she does now. She didn't used to like chocolate, but she does now. I didn't use to want to have a nice hour. I didn't use to want to have a nice house. I didn't use to want to have a nice house. Some and any. Some and any. As we learned previously, some is used with countable and uncountable nouns. Countable and uncountable nouns. Some is used with both countable and uncountable nouns. Some is used with both countable and uncountable nouns. With countable nouns, some students in my school like jazz. Some students is what is a countable noun. Do you remember it has the count S? Some students in my school like jazz. Uncountable noun. Uncountable nouns. There was some snow here last winter. There was some snow here last winter. You cannot count snow. 1 snow, 2 snow, 3 snow. So, snow is uncountable noun. There was some snow here last winter. Some is also used in what, as I told you, some is used in positive sentences. Some is used in positive sentences. Some is used in positive sentences. I have some friends. I have some friends. It is a positive sentence and the noun is countable. Friends. We bought some coffee. We bought some coffee. It is a positive sentence and an uncountable noun. An uncountable noun. It can be used with countable and non-countable nouns. Some is also used for what? For offering. Some is used for offering. This is new. Some is used for offering. We use some in questions when we expect the answer to be yes. We use some in question when we expect the answer to be yes, or when we are offering something. When we are offering something. Otherwise, we use any. Otherwise, we use any. Would you like some milk? Would you like some milk? You are offering something. You are offering milk. Would you like some milk? Would you like some milk? Some here is used for what? For offering. For offering something. Here milk is offered. Would you like some milk? Some is also used to make requests. To make requests. Some is also used in questions when we are making a request. When we are making a request. Some is also used in questions when we are making a request. Can I borrow some money? Can I borrow some money? It is a request. You are requesting for money. Can I borrow some money? It is a request. It is a question. The modal can. The modal can. We studied in the previous lessons. We said can be used to make requests. Can be used to make a request. Can I borrow some money? And also some is used to make a request. Some money. Money is an uncountable noun. Some is used to make request. Any. Any is used in negative sentences and question sentences. Any is used in negative and question sentences. Any is used in negative sentences. Any is used in negative sentences. For example, I don't have any friends. I don't have any friends. Any can be used with countable and non-countable nouns. Countable and non-countable nouns. I don't have any friends. Friends is a countable noun. I don't have any friends. This is a negative sentence. Any is used in negative sentence with countable and uncountable noun. There isn't any bread. There isn't any bread left. There isn't any bread left. Bread is an what? It's what is a non-countable noun. There isn't any bread left. Questions. Questions. Any is used in questions. Any is used in questions. Do you have any money? Do you have any money? This is a question. Do you have any money? And question mark. Question mark. Do you have any money? Do you have any money? Is there any sugar? Is there any sugar? Any is used in what? In question and in negative sentences. In negative and question sentences with both countable and non-countable nouns. With both countable and non-countable nouns.